The Luna's Howl and the Not Forgotten. Two very effective and widely used hand cannons that have become commonplace in the PvP meta ever since they were introduced. Welcome back everyone, my name is Fallout, and today I'm going to try to answer a question I've heard floating around, and that is, should the Luna's Howl and the Not Forgotten be removed from Destiny 2? I've heard this being discussed in random Twitch chats, on Twitter, and most recently it was quickly brought up in a video by a good friend of mine, a community member I greatly respect, True Vanguard. Link to his channel in the video description, go check him out. If you're a Destiny player but somehow have been living under a rock for the past few months, let me catch you up. In D2 Season 4, Bungie introduced two Pinnacle weapons, the Luna and the Not Forgotten, into the PvP sandbox. You earn them both by competing in the competitive playlist, which anyone can tell you, not a walk in the park. There's a lot of people out there who either enjoy comp, or they just want to put their head down and grind out for unique, powerful rewards. I'm a little bit of both, probably more column B than column A. Both of these hand cannons are extremely powerful. It's worth noting that on PC there's a lot of hand cannon competition at the top level. The Ace of Spades, for example, is very popular on PC but barely seen at all in comp on console. That being said, I think that the vast amount of the player base plays on console as opposed to PC. In the console PvP meta, you cannot walk 5 feet into mid to high level comp without being blinded by a blizzard of Not Forgottens at the top and Luna's Howls in the mid tiers. The weapons are so painfully effective on controller that if you're serious about winning, they're never going to leave the weapon inventory of your Guardian. This creates a very obvious dilemma in the world of casual PvP. You have a weapon that is so good it becomes the standard, but only the very skilled can obtain it. It's a scenario where the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. The high level players are able to obtain the weapons relatively easy, and the lower players aren't. The higher level players can then use those weapons to rain down carnage upon lower level players in quick play. Some people suggest adding skill-based matchmaking to quick play, which is a can of worms I don't really want to open here. But I will say that I really think we need to have a place in matchmaking where connection quality is definitely the heaviest matchmaking factor. And even if we were to add SBMM to quick play, it can't prevent Not Forgotten users from stomping out those who have none at the beginning of every season when the comp ranks reset. Now, I'm not saying that I flat out agree with the idea that these weapons should simply be done away with. That would be a strange backpedal move by Bungie, completely wiping a gun from the sandbox. Also, this creates another new problem. I genuinely like the idea of having Pinnacle reward weapons in PvP. Most players I've spoken with would not have ever even touched competitive to begin with if it weren't for the allure of earning either the Luna or the Not Forgotten. It makes people want to play and compete, to push themselves as hard as they can to earn a really top-notch trophy weapon. The Destiny player base always talks about wanting to have that carrot to chase. The Luna and the Not Forgotten are, in my opinion, two of the most satisfying carrots out there. Earning those two weapons and getting that huge feeling of accomplishment, one of my favorite overall moments of D2 as a whole. And there's the conflict. We want trophy weapons that exist as a symbol of great accomplishment. It's the same reason players chase down those coveted in-game titles like Unbroken, Riven's Bane, Dredgen. It's the in-game status symbol that you can flaunt. The potential problem comes in when the trophy itself is a weapon, and not only a weapon, but one that is so universally good, you can use it to literally grind low-level players into a bloody pulp. Now, I know a very common reply to this type of scenario is the ever-classic get good, kind of a long-standing gamer motto that has existed way before we all picked up Destiny. I know the expression has a tendency to trigger a lot of people, mainly because it's thrown around a lot in cringy gamer-related Twitter fights between two schmucks without profile pictures, but I generally agree with that saying to a point. Not in the potentially mean context, but the overall value of the motto. If you want good rewards, if you want to reach the top of the mountain, you gotta work for it, you gotta climb. Some people, when they lose, are too quick to react with complaining rather than seeking out methods of improvement. All things that I believe in. The only potential problem I have is with Johnny Random, your everyday average gamer who maybe decides to hop into Destiny PvP for the first time in an entire season, rolls into a game of quick play and gets absolutely mollywopped by all the Lunas and Not Forgottens, finds out what it takes to get both guns, and puts down Destiny forever. Or he tries to go into comp to earn the weapon himself, and because both guns have already been out for a full season, he runs into teams using those weapons against him in comp 2. So he wants to fight fire with fire, but he can't because fire is blocking his progress to obtain fire. So he says, "F it." Not everyone is going to respond that way, but they might. When I got my butt whipped the first time I played Modern Warfare 2, way back in the day, I got my cheeks clapped, but it only fueled my drive to get better. There's plenty of players out there who share that kind of mentality. Catch a glimpse of greatness in the other person's loadout who's whipping you, and then you become determined to hit that level and reap that reward. No matter what game, there are always probably going to be players out there who will have the it's not worth it, I give up mentality. I just wonder how much that fire is potentially being fanned by the existence of a weapon that A, can only be gained by playing a ton of comp, and B, is very, very universally good, almost to a fault. Now you could nerf the gun, but that might feel like a smack in the face to all the players out there who worked very, very hard to achieve the 3-tap monster to begin with. That's kind of the nature of PvP in a looter-shooter game though. In games like Halo, everyone spawns with equal weapons on equal footing. It's raw talent against raw talent. In Destiny though, players can walk in with predetermined advantages in the form of rare, unlockable weapons or armor loadouts. It's still skill versus skill, but your loadout definitely can be unique and it can give you an advantage. But I mean, that's no surprise though. It's the game we all signed up for. It's been like that since D1. There's probably no perfect answer. I'm sure a few people watching this video right now probably think that they have one, but in my opinion, every firm answer to the question, what do we do about Not Forgotten and the Luna, has at least one potentially harmful drawback. I want to hit the perfect blend of both worlds. I want good players to earn powerful rewards, feel that genuine accomplishment, and also be able to use their trophies in battle with great effectiveness. But I think I also want all players to eventually be able to unlock and experience that same cool gear, especially if it's intended to be used in a PvP type capacity. After all, smacking down players because you're more talented than they are, well, that's one thing, but also because you have better gear that they don't have. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting softer in my old age. What if there was a scenario where each PvP-related Pinnacle reward weapon could be earned two ways? The quick and very hard way, and the long but very easy way. For example, the Not Forgotten earned the quick but far more challenging way would be hitting max rank in the competitive playlist. Or if you don't like comp, you could go the long way. Possibly some quest that takes, I don't know, at least 2 full seasons to achieve, but it's far easier to do. One that's low intensity but involves a lot of mindless grinding. That way, the really thirsty players looking for a challenge can bang it out in comp and be among the first players to get the weapon, still being able to flex and show it off in PvP. But the average players who want a new toy but don't enjoy comp can grind it out over a very mild yet extremely long period of time. They'll cross the finish line too, but far later. Kind of what Bungie did with the Redrix's broadsword to a degree. Back when they announced the addition of the Redrix's broadsword, I'll admit, I was salty about it. But thinking back, it's actually kind of an ideal solution to possibly unbalanced endgame level PvP gear. And this might be really minor and nitpicky, but even naming the guns differently could make those grinding it out the hard way feel mildly more accomplished in going through the rough route. Think about it, even if both weapons are identical, the Claymore and the broadsword, when I see someone in PvP with the OG Claymore, I kind of think, hey, respect. I don't know, I'm just spitballing here. I'm not saying that's definitely the way to go, but I am curious about what you think. Do you think that the Luna and the Not Forgotten are two universally good? And how do you feel about both weapons overall? Do you think that the weapons are a problem, or are they just fine the way they are right now? Let me know down in the comment section. If you're looking to earn the gun, shameless plug, maybe check out my guide to comp, link down in the video description. Thank you very much for watching or listening, and I'll see you next time.